You know what? I figured we'd do a junkyard vlog. Because why not? We actually got some interesting stuff to look at back here. They cleared out some of the crushed cars, and there's some neat stuff in the back there. But anyway, I guess we'll start here. This is a 90s Buick Laaber. Definitely seen better days. Laaber. I wonder if these window regulators would work on my car. Strip. Had cloth seats. Anything in the trunk? Actually could use those tires. Or at least that full-size one. I know that'll fit my car. Had power antenna. We got some more stuff over here. We got a Ford Contour. This is a car you really don't see much of anymore. I've always heard these were not the greatest. They're kind of neat though. I do like them. Buick Regal. Another Buick Regal. Buick Century. And a Laaber. There's a Riviera back here. Let's see what we got back here. There's an Oldsmobile Aurora. I'm not a huge fan of these, but I don't hate them. They're alright, I guess. They're not really my cup of tea, though. These were basically Oldsmobile's last big project before they went bust. Is the Aurora, and in my opinion what failed it was, instead of badging it as an Oldsmobile, they just badged it as Aurora, or in this case Aurora. They didn't put any Oldsmobile badging at all on this car. The only place that did say Oldsmobile would have been on the original radio, which this no longer has. And it looks like it's missing that out of the glove box. Yes, smells gross. But basically they made I think these were front wheel drive. I'm pretty sure. And they had I believe this is a North Star V8. Transverse mount, front wheel drive. Yeah, all of that. And if anyone knows North Stars, and I'm sure someone's going to say, oh, they're great engines if you fix them. Sure, they are if you fix them. But when they were new, and people were paying quite a bit of money for these North Star cars, I'm sure these were better, because I think this is what they called the Short Star, but I don't know. I think the Short Star is what they used in the Oldsmobile Intrigue. But anyway, the North Star had a lot of problems, mainly head bolt problems, and it costed a fortune to get them fixed, at least back in the day. Maybe not now, but that is the biggest downfall of the North Star Cadillac, and in this case Oldsmobile engines. But anyway, continuing on. Here's another Buick Laaber. There's that Riviera. Those had the 3800. These had the 3800. That had a 3100. And I don't know how this ended up over here. But here we have what looks like a 94, 98. Interesting fact. Those replaced these because Oldsmobile was trying to go for a more younger demographic, and these were old people cars. I have one, I can say that. I'm not old people though. This is a 94. Ugh, yummy. The Oldsmobile Edge. Yeah, they redesigned the dash in '94. And they used this dashboard till the end in '96, I think it was. The fact they never made a '98 really annoys me. They really should have. Slightly newer Oldsmobile script. Then you got the Cutless Supreme, the G body, and that just kind of just falls off in your hand. This thing's obviously seen better days. Then this is the rear-wheel drive GMA body. This one particularly is a Oldsmobile Cutless Calais, I believe, or something like that. It's the A-body version of the Chevy, well, I think it was a Malibu. I'm not too good on these 70s cars, but this is the same thing as a Buick Century of the same era. Anyway, moving on, we got the Ford trucks. This is the G body. Some of these came in diesels. I don't think this one is one, but the diesels were kind of crappy. Here's an Oldsmobile Intrigue, I believe. Yeah, this is an Oldsmobile Intrigue GL. These, good Lord, this looks like a fun mess to work out. This is a very moldy car. It smells like ass in here. Anyway, Oldsmobile Intrigue. The early years had the 3800. The later years had the short star, like this one, with the 3.5. This was the North Star engine with two heads dropped off of it, basically. And there's a reason this is probably here, and a reason it's never been pulled out of it. It's a, I mean, I'm sure they're not bad, but I don't know. I liked the Intrigue when they first came out with the 3.8 engine, but when they switched to the newer engine, that's kind of when I was like, nah. But anyway, moving on from that, we kind of went the wrong direction. I got distracted by Oldsmobiles. Go figure. So back over here, there's another G body. This is a Buick G body, Buick Regal. This is basically the basis for the Grand National. This is not a Grand National. This is just a Regal. It's locked up tight. I don't know what trim this was. Probably one of the more luxury trims. But anyway, we'll make our way back over here, where all the more interesting stuff is. Like Dodge products. I know a lot about Dodge products. Well, at least 80s and 90s Dodge products. This is a Dodge Daytona from the early 90s. Yeah. These were the more sporty version of the Chrysler LeBaron. And the only way to really tell that, and hopefully it doesn't fall on me, is the dashboard's the same as a LeBaron. And we got this Malibu nobody cares about. Dodge Stratus RT. This was basically a Dodge version of the Eclipse with front wheel drive. Probably had a big V6. I forget what the actual V6 was. I'd have to look it up to know. But anyway, here we have a Cavalier. My mom actually had a black one of these, and my other grandma had a sedan. These are very childhood vehicles. I think this RS would have had the 3100, not the 3100, the 3.1 V6. The 3100 was a different engine completely. The 3.1 was its own beast, which obviously you can't open the hood. Then we have a Dodge Shadow convertible. These were kind of neat little cars, in my opinion. I think some of these had V6s. I don't know how that piece of glass is holding this car up. That's kind of incredible. A Dodge Neon 2nd gen. There's an old Buick Laaber rear-wheel drive. Over here's some interesting stuff to look at. Like at the very bottom here, we have a Buick Century station wagon. God dang. Well, what's left of a Buick Century station wagon. And then over here, up in this pile of crap here, we have an Eagle Vision. This is one of those rare cars you never see anymore. And it was part of the Chrysler LH platform, like the Dodge Intrepid and the Chrysler Concorde. This was the only Eagle branded car that was actually made by Chrysler. But yeah, it was basically a rebadged Intrepid Concorde. But this was supposed to be the more sporty version. And then of course there's a Caravan, 2 Explorers. But anyway, enough of my ranting and rambling. I'm sure no one's going to watch any of this. The rear-wheel drive Laaber. This is a B-body car. It came out in probably the 70s, I want to say. Has a big, I want to say this is like a 350, maybe. I don't know. I don't know much about the V8 rear-wheel drive stuff. But I do believe that could be an Oldsmobile engine. I know they use those in some of these cars. The Oldsmobile Rocket V8, whatever you call it. Now this one, the Regal, does not have the supercharged 3.8. This has a regular non-supercharged V8. Cavalier. Already videoed the Storm. Here we go. Let's learn more about Buick, so Torythefanman. Buick Roadmaster station wagon. This was Buick's last rear-wheel drive, full body on frame car. They made the wagon, obviously, and then they made the sedan. Actually, there could be one of those in this row of Buicks, but I don't know. But anyway, they made these throughout the 90s. The earlier versions had a smaller V8. The later ones had the LT1 from the Corvette, I believe. Has drum brakes. Still has the Buick mud flaps, which is cool. Keep. Oof. Has that weird flip out cup holder thing. This thing has definitely been through hell and back. And got the last generation Buick Laaber, which I like these. Still had the 3800. The Buick Park Avenue. Another Park Avenue. This is the older style. This is the 86 Park Avenue. Actually, that's more of an 86 Park Avenue. This came out in 86 and replaced the rear-wheel drive one that we've seen in the back. And then eventually they went from that to that to that. And this is the 90s Park Avenue, which came out in 91. This is the car that is the cousin to my car, basically. It's a C-body, front-wheel drive, 3800. These were front-wheel drive 3800s. This was the earlier 3800 with the red dot on it. And then there was the Buick Century station wagon, Buick Sabre. This is basically a freaking used car lot circa 2001. But anyway, here's another interesting one. Riviera. This is the big body Riviera. This was front wheel drive, believe it or not. I believe these were front wheel drive. Yeah, I think so. And these had a V8 that's similar to the Oldsmobile Tornado at the time. And then there's another G-body Regal, bunch of Jeeps, Geo-Tracker. But anyway, I'm going to get off of here. Oh, speaking of Roadmasters, ready? Look at that one. Here's a Roadmaster sedan from the 90s, which I'm surprised this got pulled out. They put wheels on it. I wonder if it runs. I doubt it. This thing's obviously sat for a very long time. The 95, I believe this is the first year for the LT1 V8. Well, that's kind of cool. Buick, Cadillac, Jeep, Eagle, Kokomo, Indiana. McDonald, Kokomo, Indiana. Huh. Might have to get that. They cleared out all the Buicks, which is why they're kind of just scattered everywhere. They still have one random Grand Am just chilling over here. And a Grand Prix. I don't know if they're just moving all the Pontiacs over here or what, but yeah. So I'm gonna get off of here. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.